Welcome back to another episode of A Hopeful Take. My name is Hope. This is my husband, Chris.
Hello.
Hello. That was so small this time.
Hello.
Hello. We are two things. Before we get into today's topic, I decided we are now past episode 10. I'm not going to keep track of them anymore and number them off each time because numbers are hard and I keep losing track of which one is which. Second, no comments. I realize I am multicolored. What are your comments?
I told you to wear sunscreen.
Okay, in my defense, other than when I was like an infant, I've never worn sunscreen.
Yeah, it was hot at the Stampede, so
It was. I got some color, and I am multi-toned at the moment.
yeah, I at least tanned kind of nicely.
You did. I'm actually very surprised at how nicely you tanned, because usually you just go red and white.
Yeah, I'm happy. Sunscreen made a big difference.
I never wear it.
Mm-hmm.
I never have. It's not my fault. Yes, it is. My mom's fault. Anyway, so last night we finished the Ultimatum. Well, finished what's out.
Yeah, the finale and the reunion are to come out next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. I have been looking forward to that reunion since the first table sit down.
Oh, I know. I don't know.
What is this season?
I feel like they've just leaned into the whole like drama aspect and they're not even trying anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure that the Ultimatum is probably one of their, if I had to guess, probably one of their lower performing shows overall. So they've definitely taken a lot of risks and done different things this season.
They definitely have. They've changed a few things from previous seasons, but this season, I don't think I've hated nearly as many people as much as I have other seasons.
I feel like the Ultimatums had like 2 seasons of just bad casting, I guess is the way to put it, because they do cast the people.
That's true, and you need couples that are willing to go on, not individual people.
Yeah, not that many of these couples are like, I don't know. I feel like they're all holding on by a thread at best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, oh my god, this Ultimatum season is. They essentially had 2 groups of couple swaps.
They did, yeah. That's basically what happened. Well, they lost quite a few at the beginning, so
There was one couple who was sent home because they disobeyed rules.
Which I don't think we've ever come across that rule even existed.
No.
So it is what it is.
Well, we've never had anybody try that, and I don't even think it was necessarily the letter that he gave to her. I think it was what was in the letter.
Yeah, I guess we don't have to. Well, I'm not going to worry about spoilers, I think.
Yeah. So, spoiler warning.
Yeah. If you watch the season, you probably already know what's going on. But
and if you haven't watched the season and you want to, pause this, go watch it, come back.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he passed the note to his
Jebin,
right? He passed the note to Alex, is her name, I think.
Yes.
And it was basically just like the super aggressive, like belittling
hating her.
Yeah, putting the blame on her, saying that she was making him look dumb, and just being a dick. And yeah, that's basically what it entailed. And he had to like read it in front of everybody, and
it was very much like a teacher catching students passing notes in class and being like, oh, well, if you want to have secrets, then read it to the whole class.
Yeah, they'd been together for like 6 years, so I think they were 23 at the time, so they'd been together basically since high school.
Yeah, and
because of like he got sent home, but then she also had to get sent home as well.
Because then it made things uneven and it was weird. And yeah,
we've had uneven matches before. They did not want to repeat that.
Did we?
Yeah, the one season, I think it was season 3 or whatever. One of the girls was alone for a bunch of it.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I guess it wasn't very impactful.
Nope.
But yeah, Jebin, his whole thing is like, oh well, like I love her, but my parents want me to be with an Indian girl because he's Indian.
And he's definitely still a kid. Like he's very much still a kid.
Oh yeah,
Zero life experience.
And all of the other girls there, after getting to know him a bit, they all were like, no, you are so immature.
And it's possible that the reason he like lashed out and almost got himself kicked off is because he was like losing ground with everybody.
That's true. Because yeah, he then got mad at Alex, his long-term partner, for, actually doing the experiment and developing any sort of connection with anybody. And he's like, this is disgusting. I can't believe you would do this. You're a horrible person. I wouldn't even propose to you after this whole thing is done.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
Mm.
And that was, yeah.
Bizarre is an understatement.
Yeah, because everything else seemed to kind of start off normal, and then when they finally coupled off is kind of when everything exploded into just like prime stupidity.
You know what else threw me off with him too? He, other than his name, Jebin, I hate it. Was when everybody else was like paired up and talking or whatever else, and he's sitting there, he's like, I don't really want to talk to any of the girls. I just want to have some guy time. But
Yeah,
like they just want to talk to the girls. So like I'm gonna go hit it up with the bartender. What?
I'm sure that he had gotten like legitimately rejected by all the
Oh,
women
I
at that
guarantee
point.
it.
Yeah,
They're like, and honestly, I don't blame any of them because he's a horrible person.
yeah, what a bizarre thing to yeah, I don't know, it was just strange. And like I feel like one of the things I'll say is like reality TV is usually largely based on how production intervenes and how they like dictate the scenes.
And this is the only time production intervened.
This season has been just like productions like hits and
Let him
misses
go.
basically. Yeah, because they confiscated the note, but then through the rest of the season, like there's so much going on that they really should have
So much.
said something about. And like,
But we even had that problem last season with that one guy who was constantly messaging his ex in their trial marriage.
yeah,
And she was like, can you stop? And production was like, well, you have your phones. You could block him, but that's your choice.
yeah, I don't remember them doing anything last season, but
They didn't.
in like the first two seasons, it was much more like separation between all the couples. Now there's like none.
Yeah, the only separation now that they have is like they had mentioned when they first got into their trial marriages into the apartments. One of them was like, yeah, could you imagine like last season everybody was like living on top of each other, so like your ex was like right above us, and this time they didn't have that, which I think is the only smart thing that production did with that.
Yeah, I don't think production did anything intelligent or of any value. They
Not
basically like
really.
devalued the whole point of Ultimatum was just another reality show with people bickering and I don't know. I'm still saying I feel like Ultimatum is the worst performing of what they have, so it's likely that they want to try something new to try to get ratings up.
Probably. But yeah, there's
Because even so, like, yeah, I guess we can talk about it a little bit. But throughout the whole thing, there was so much going on between two of the couples.
oh yeah.
And then when Nick and Vanessa came to find out what was going
Vanessa's
on,
expressions are top tier.
you knew for a fact that like not only was that not seemingly the plan, but they also were not made aware of it.
They had no idea this was the first time they were finding out. This was the first time they were hearing it. And granted, they're just hosts of the show.
They are, but like I think they play an integral role in the. They should play an integral role in the direction because they, like Vanessa, served Nick an ultimatum,
Exactly.
so they have legitimate real life experience with this. Instead, they're just
And they've been together
yeah,
for
it's a clown
ever.
fiesta.
Yeah, it's
It was dumb. It was painful. This whole season, like I don't know. I felt like 50% of the cast was very involved in like going through the process and finding out about themselves and growing, and the other half was just there. I don't know, for reality TV. It was pointless.
Well, it honestly on that, it felt like the two couples that were doing okay, they were there to actually work on themselves and figure out what they need out of themselves and from their partner that they're not getting. And then the other ones are like, I think I want to be with somebody else, but I'm scared of change, so I don't know.
Yeah, and there was 4 couples that made it through. I think the intention was 6, and obviously we had
Yes.
one proposal, which is great, good for them, and then we
Yeah.
had one kickoff.
Yeah.
But when they all got back together, skipping over the whole trial marriage with some random person, like all of it was chaos right away. Like the
Immediate.
couples went back to bickering, the couples went back to fighting.
They're like,
it was-
so you said this, and I heard that you felt this way. So what do you have to say about that?
oh, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Immediate upon it. Like there was a tiny little bit of like, oh my god, I miss you so much. And one of the girls was like, I really missed looking at you. Now, what are all the things that you have to apologize about?
Yeah, there's one couple that seems to have learned, and obviously we'll see what the finale and the reunion have to hold. But yeah, just chaos. I think it's the most pointless season of reality TV I've ever watched.
Of this series, yes. The only reason I can't agree with that statement is because we never finished Love Island.
Yeah, I mean, who's got time to watch 52 episodes in one season on me? Or whatever, it was 49.
No, it was like 52. It was like every single week.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kept adding in, and like literally we started watching it and we're like episode 12, we're like, oh, they should be like wrapping some things up, and like they're adding in more people. How many episodes? There's 50. Never mind, let's turn it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I've never seen a format like that.
Because it wasn't even that entertaining. I don't know
No.
if it gets more entertaining as it goes into like episode 30. I don't know. But I don't want to have to watch that far in to even be slightly entertained. Otherwise, they're just a whole bunch of people who are there half naked who want to hook up with each other.
Yeah, but back to the Ultimatum a little
Yes.
bit. Yeah, the whole premise, for those who haven't seen the show, is like you're supposed to find your partner, serve an ultimatum in some capacities.
Let's say we're still dating.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get married. He doesn't. I'm like, if you don't marry me, we're done. Ultimatum.
Yeah, and the couples, whatever, they all end up having given ultimatums in some capacity. So then they meet up at this thing. They basically split off for 3 weeks. They find somebody who they feel compatible with, who they might learn something from, whatever. And then they have a trial marriage period with them.
Yeah, where they move into an apartment, they live together, they have their phones back. These are all done in their cities. So like they still have their jobs and whatnot that they have to go to in regular life. They meet friends and or family of their trial marriage partner. And they kind of get feedback from that.
Yeah, and I think that largely Ultimatum has probably been a good growing process for a ton of people.
Oh yeah.
And
we've definitely had some success from it. Like so far, we've had 3 proposals at the table before trial marriage has even started.
yeah, and I think just for the individuals too, I think it's helped them kind of grow and learn and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think the premise of the show is good. I think the problem is that, yeah, obviously
It's
they're
the
still
execution.
obviously they're still together, they're still close, so they can still text and see each other, and like production seemingly doesn't care. They're not stepping in. They're just I'm sure they're fueling the drama more than anything.
And we had talked about it while we were watching too, where in previous seasons they seem to like production seems to have like a knowing schedule of what everybody's doing so that they don't cross paths at all. But this season, like they were constantly seeing each other at the gym, walking past them doing whatever activity they were doing, pulling up to do the next activity while they're still there. It was it was almost intentional seeming.
Yeah, it was, and that's why I think like I wasn't a big fan of this season. I think out of all of them, the ultimatum premise is kind of interesting, and like the way that people grow and the trial marriage, and you get to see people like, you're living in close proximity. You're not like real husband and wife, but it's like being stuck with somebody. You get some sort of that feeling.
Yeah.
So I like the premise. I like the whole idea.
Living with somebody is different than just dating them.
And you get to see like what is right and wrong with people, really, because like there's one couple that's incredibly toxic. There's one couple where the guy is like almost too practical, devoid of emotions in a lot of ways, and then the other 2 couples just have like, I would say, like smaller things that is wrong with them.
Yeah, honestly, we haven't seen really enough of the other 2 couples to know what their faults are. Like I can see them, I can't even think of their name. I can think of David.
Yeah, and either way, like, well, yeah, because it's David and Casey, and then Monica and Luke,
right?
Ashley and Killian, and then Blake and Haley.
Yes.
Yeah, and our neighbors cranking up some. That's what happens when you're unemployed and you have a lot of free time on your hands.
Honestly, I don't even know if they're unemployed or if they're retired.
It's very loud either way. Hopefully the mics aren't picking it up. I'm not editing around this. Yeah, just to hold it up.
We'll just
No, I'm telling you, like, there's days where like I get home from work or whatever, I work a weird schedule, and like in the middle of the day, our neighbor will just be doing something. Have the dogs out screaming, and just,
we have odd neighbors.
Yeah, that's what happens. Retired, unemployed, whatever it may be.
Just kind of speaking of the neighbors, they made me realize something last night, and I was so happy I realized it.
What?
The ones right in front of or beside us, I guess, here, they have like essentially strip lights on the side of their house right under the roof. And they switch and they change colors like every second, which is totally fine. It looks great. For the last 3 nights, I have been trying to figure out what the hell the lights that are flashing on the
Mhm.
roof are? And I'm laying in bed. I'm like, okay, it's not my phone. I've covered my phone. What is it? Is it the trees and they're blowing and it's the street? I realized last night it's their lights and it's as they're switching that I'm seeing on the roof.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
But
having a whole thing the last 3 nights.
I
Anyway,
know. Yeah, they've been out in their backyard screaming for the last couple nights too, which is when we're in Calgary, this is one thing I learned to appreciate very quickly is like living in a housing complex with like real rules instead of just like a neighborhood. Like
mhm.
people are quiet at a certain time, they're respectful of their neighbors and stuff like that. Like here, just like yeah, it must have been like midnight or 1 o'clock or something. They were still out in their backyard doing whatever, and they've been like that for a few days. And then they
Yeah,
let their dogs out at like 4 a.m. just to be in the backyard barking.
yeah.
And like,
That's part of why I like my complex back home because like that's the house that I grew up in and whatnot.
and it,
There are set rules, and if you disobey those rules, you will get in trouble.
as like, and it's crazy too. Like people always say, "Oh, I don't want to live near an apartment or a duplex or whatever because they're going to be noisy." It's like, no,
No, it's the other neighbors that are busy. It's not the apartment.
I've never been anywhere where it's been an apartment neighbor that's noisy. Sometimes, but very rarely.
But even then, the apartment neighbor noise is the same as any neighbor noise.
Yeah, maybe you hear a TV or some people talking, but like,
Or some kids
yeah.
running down the hall or whatever. Like, it's normal things. We've had with these neighbors right before they left. Buddy worked on the rigs, I think. So, like,
Oh, yeah.
once a month, they'd be out on their balcony till 4 a.m. drinking. Fine, I'll deal with it the once a month. But
Yeah, no, these neighbors suck so much,
They
and
do.
I hate it.
Their dog barks 24/7.
Yeah, they have two big dogs that they literally just leave outside from morning to night,
Mm-hmm.
and then around 9:30, 10 o'clock, they bring them inside,
Mm-hmm.
and then at like 4 or 5 in the morning, they let them out again, and
Mm-hmm.
then they come out at like 6 a.m. and make noise.
A lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if I had to live anywhere, I'd rather live in an apartment that's like secluded from everything else. Like put me in the commercial district somewhere in an apartment. At least I know it'll be quiet at night.
Or like a group of apartments. Or any I really like the housing complex that I was in. I would love to live in some sort of cooperative
Mhm.
again. This is annoying.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And like the worst part, the city we're in, our bylaw officers
Don't do anything.
are largely useless. And like I've actually complained to the city multiple times because we pay for 4 municipal bylaw officers right now at varying levels. I think it's soon to be 5, or it might already be 5. And they don't enforce bylaws.
Anytime I've ever called bylaw, I get told that's not our job.
What they do is they're basically just RCMP officers. It is literally the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced in a city. Because you go elsewhere and you're like, can you please enforce this bylaw? I have a noise complaint. There's stray animals, whatever. You call them here and they get annoyed with you on the phone. It's just like, I can't believe we're paying you $130,000 a year to get annoyed at me on the phone when I need your help.
Like, can I have that job just to be annoyed at people? Jeez.
Yeah, like I filled out the municipal budget survey and I've done this every year since I got here. I gave them a 0 and I said, please replace them. That's literally what I said. And I've never been taken seriously. I don't know why.
Because you're the only one who's put that.
Yeah, it's a frustrating situation to be in. And we've dealt with them a few times, like strays and noise complaints and whatever. And yeah, it's just, yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I love when law enforcement doesn't do their job that they're paid to do.
Yeah, people complain about like police overstepping and whatnot. I'm like, I feel like
It's
every
not a
small
thing
town
here.
I've been in has been bylaw officers that have been the ones that like make the most, because they're technically not police, so they're like a step down. So then there's like weird power dynamics all over the place.
Yeah, they can essentially just like issue tickets.
Well, here they can because they have provincial authority. They have provincial authority under the Alberta government. They have to be hired at a certain level to be able to then issue tickets and whatnot.
So here's my question then that I don't know if you have an answer to.
Yep.
If they're hired by
The city.
but if they're Alberta employees essentially, can they do stuff on the Sask side?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Legislation's weird.
Legislations are very weird.
But yeah, sorry, a little off-topic tangent. Hopefully,
Ultimatum.
noise isn't too bad.
I hope not.
Yeah. No,
Otherwise, you get to also listen to a lawnmower.
Yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, I think next week we'll probably talk more about Ultimatum because we'll have seen the finale, and
I'm so
then
excited for that.
we can talk more in depth about the couples. I just want to hear their side of it before I judge them more, because like in that high
Yeah.
pressure situation, you really have no idea what's really going on or how it's going on.
No, and we're only seeing.
We're gonna close the door.
Okay. We're only seeing, stuff from like technically a year ago, really. But we're also only seeing what production is letting us see. We're not seeing everything else. And then we don't see, all of those texts that were going back and forth. And there was one guy who's texting with his friends about how, well, his friends mainly were saying how they were going to do some horrendous things to the trial wife. And he never disagreed with them.
I can't see what's going on outside. It
He's
sounds
looking
like a
for a minute.
chainsaw because it sounds like wood's falling, but I can't really tell.
Oh,
I know. Anyway, yeah, we'll reconvene on Ultimatum next week.
we will. And I'm very, very excited for the reunion.
Yeah,
I always like seeing
it'll be gross for sure.
it will. I love the drama that unfolds. I love Nick and Vanessa's reactions.
Oh yeah,
Vanessa's eyes go this big and it kills me.
yeah,
Nick looks like he's going to kill somebody.
yeah. I think, are we getting another Love Is Blind? Oh, it's in the fall, right? I think it's
Yes.
Tampa in the fall, maybe. Can't remember.
Yes.
And they're in double digits too. They're about to hit season 10.
You're right. They are.
They're cruising along. Yeah.
They are. And from everything I heard, they went back for Love is Blind to like actual casting and not just reaching out to influencers and other
Yeah, I've heard
people
that
and
they
being
changed
like,
their thing again.
hey, you want to come on? We know you have a partner, but like, you have a following.
Yeah, they hired like a. Actually, it was a season 6 or whatever that reunion. They talked about the casting team that they had hired.
Yeah, and someone was like, yeah, they reached out to me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and now and then they changed their hiring practices, and now they've kind of gone back again because yeah, that show's also become kind of a joke.
Yeah, well, it very quickly became, oh, I'm just on here for clout. Oh, what do
Yeah.
you mean you have a partner at home? What do you mean you have a wife and kids?
Yeah, I mean the whole casting process in this case is really important because you want the reality
Mhm.
TV to actually play out properly, as
Yeah.
opposed to just having like your show been made a mockery of.
Which it's kind of getting there,
It is, yeah.
but it's still entertaining. We still watched it.
Mhm.
There was every 5 minutes the two of us were like, huh?
Oh yeah.
What do you mean he said that? Why did he say that? I hate you. Oh my god, I hate you.
I'm excited to get the full picture, and I'm
Mhm.
sure that we'll get more answers having people have watched it back.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the problem is like people act in the moment and then they don't know what they've said or what they've done, and then
Hey, you had to Google into Reddit just to make sure that everybody else also hated Ashley.
Yeah, I mean, she said so many. Like towards the end, I think it could have been the stress of the situation. She seemed to just like spiral out of control pretty hard.
But like you said, I think Blake created a monster.
Could be, and like I said, we'll find out next week.
We shall find out more.
Yeah. Other than that, we're happy to be back from Stampede. It was a
Yeah.
good time, and yeah, it's been kind of a crazy busy week.
A little bit.
Yeah, I work tonight, so does Hope. So we're recording this a little earlier than normal.
But it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be nice to have some unwinding time next week. Have
Oh,
like a
yeah.
whole week of just. I don't have a busy week at work for one, so I'm very excited about that.
I just got a second shift for next week, so.
Oh, things are going wild.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Woo.
yeah, no, it's happy to be back. We got to watching some more Netflix.
That we did.
Yeah, we're back to watching murder documentaries and just whatever's new.
What one did we watch?
Watched a few. We watched that one where the cruise ship.
Oh
flipped.
yeah, the Costa Concordia.
Yeah, we watched
and how all of that went downhill, down reef.
I can't remember what else we've actually watched since then because we watched one about a missing girl. I think.
We watched Maternal Instincts.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I never heard of that story. What a wild story.
Yeah, that one's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But I know we watched it. What did we watch? I can't remember.
No, I can't either. I think it's just been a long week.
We watched a lot.
Yeah, I'm excited to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun.
No, it will be. And I think we'll probably wrap it up there. It'll be a short one again this week, but yeah, I got to get to work. So
same.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of A Hopeful Take. We'll see you guys again next week, and so will Jonah.
Had some hair on his foot.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gone now that I got it.
hey, Choco baby.
All right. See you
We'll
next
see
week.
you next week.